humans can be called the most special and unique living creatures. How come? His hobby is scaring himself in various ways. Starting from playing the best Android horror games, watching horror films, deliberately visiting haunted places, or just reading threads of horror stories on Twitter. Are you one of them? Talking about mystical matters, the fact is that playing games or watching horror films has a good effect on your physical and emotional health. Fear can trigger adrenaline, which can reduce stress and make the brain healthier. Regularly consuming horror content also increases the body's immunity, burns a lot of calories, and overcomes phobias or trauma. Amazing, right? If you're out of stock of horror films that are fun to watch, you can just download a really scary game on your Android smartphone. Apart from getting your adrenaline pumping, playing scary games on your smartphone can also be a fun alternative to fill your boredom in your free time. Basically, tense games are no less exciting than the online games you usually play. Want to know what are the recommendations for the best Android horror games that you can download on your smartphone?
Number 1.
Franbo. Not just an ordinary horror game, Franbo is more of a psychological horror, because it really makes your mind disturbed. Are you serious? In this game, you will play as Fran, a small child who witnesses the sadistic murder of his parents. Due to trauma, Fran was put in a mental hospital. So, the story starts when you as Fran try to escape. Can you imagine a hospital at night? It's already dark. You will also see lots of mystical and supernatural scenes everywhere.
Number 2.
Slandering. Actually, the mission of this best Android horror game is quite simple. You're only asked to find 8 old books that are lost in a dark and haunted old house. What makes this demon game even more exciting is your adventure, which is colored by the disturbance of ghosts and curious spirits. Guaranteed to shock and give you goosebumps. Apart from dealing with ghosts, you also have to solve a series of puzzles to progress. Dare to play this game.
Number 3.
Eyes. Escape game, set in rooms in a dark building that will give you goosebumps. This game has various levels, a variety of monsters and ghosts, and lots of jump scares. The story plot is standard, but the atmosphere is quite good. It's perfect for you to play if you really want to scare yourself.
Number 4.
The Walking Dead Seasons 1 and 2. Who isn't familiar with this really booming TV series? As the name suggests, in this game you will face hungry zombies who are ready to eat you at any time. You will play the character Lee, who is struggling to find a girl named Clementine. The storyline is gripping, requiring you to think quickly and wisely in making decisions. In it there are several different episodes, which makes The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2 perfect for those of you who like story-based games. You can enjoy the story, it's not just a jump scare. The size of this game is not too big, only around 12 MB. Interested in playing?
Officer? Holy shit! What in the hell?
Number 5.
Dungeon Nightmares. Dungeon Nightmares is really scary, bro. Not a lie at all. This best Android horror game requires you to walk in the dark, crawling through an old prison filled with scary creatures ready to pounce on you at any time. There are many mazes filled with ghosts and monsters that will surprise you. To complete this game, you are only given a candle and the necessary clues to get out of the dark maze. This really scary game that tests your courage is not too big. You can download it in just 38 MB. Don't say you're brave if you haven't managed to finish Dungeon Nightmares.
Number 6.
Oxenfree. If you want to try a horror adventure game, I suggest you try Oxenfree, especially if you really like horror films. The concept of this game is indeed similar to classic horror films from the 80s. You will be placed in a group for a supernatural horror adventure. What makes Oxenfree fun is the story, because the answer choices in your dialogue will influence the storyline. Gameplay is quite easy and this game doesn't finish quickly. Because its form is a horror adventure, Oxenfree has minimal jump scares.
This is insane.
What? What are you?
Listen, talk to.
Number 7.
The School White Day. White Day is a classic horror game set in an old haunted school. This 3D horror game made by Sonora invites you to walk through a haunted school at night. This tense game is a remake of the previous game called White Day, a labyrinth-named school. In this devil's game, you will play the character of a student who is trapped in school while intending to return home. The school atmosphere is made to be very tense, full of disturbing silhouettes, mysterious sounds, and jump scares that are guaranteed to make you jump in surprise. Interested in playing this game?
Number 8.
Knock Knock. We think Knock Knock deserves to be called the best Android horror game at the moment. Those of you who experience claustrophobia or are traumatized by narrow and dark places are guaranteed to have serious goosebumps, because this game places the player as a small child trapped in a small cabin. The character also suffers from severe insomnia and is always disturbed by scary sounds when night approaches us. The sound effects of the terrifying creatures in this game are guaranteed to give you goosebumps.
Number 9.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Initially, this game was only available on PC. It's so good. This game has many sequels and spin-offs. For Android, there is an original version that has been updated. This game requires you to survive for several days, because you are trapped in a strange restaurant with evil robots trying to kill you. For those of you who aren't strong enough for jump scares, it looks like you have to be careful if you want to try playing this game.
Number 10.
Distraint. This game is simple and might be underestimated because of its pixelated shape. However, don't underestimate the power of the story. Far from small change. You can get rid of the distraint in a day, but the scary effects can last for days. This horror game doesn't rely too much on jump scares or action that makes you run away or survive from the devil's game. Distraint sells stories, dark atmospheres, and even mystical music, which is suitable for those of you who are really looking for a different horror game. Well, that's my choice of the scariest horror games. Of all of them, which one makes you curious to download it immediately? So that you don't get scared, warm your mind with a cup of hot chocolate, then continue playing more relaxed. Thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Friends,